Hello my dear students, today we will learn the last poem, that is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers by Adrienne Rich. As usual, before going to see the textual lines and explanation part, let's have an introduction part for this particular poem, mainly about the poet, the theme and the literary devices used in this poem. Shall we start? Yes. Now let us see about the poet. Actually it is a poetess, a lady writer. Adrienne Rich was an American poet, essayist and feminist. She was called one of the most widely read and influential poets of the second half of the 20th century, and she was credited with bringing the oppression of women to the forefront of poetic discourse. Now let us see the theme of this poem, that is how the power of the patriarchy controls women's forms but not their minds. The poet makes this point by presenting the wild, interesting, powerful tigers embroidered by Aunt Jennifer and contrasting them with Aunt Jennifer, the oppressed wife. So here we can see mainly there is a word given here, patriarchy. That means a system of society or government in which the father or the eldest male is head of the family and descent is reckoned through the male line. The mainly what we are understanding here is the male dominance, the domination of the male personalities in the society. So that is the main theme here. The oppressed wife's experienced is described as a main part in this poem. Now let us see the main literary devices used in this poem. As like other different poems, there are few main important literary devices have been used, like personification, metaphor, alliteration and a few more. Mainly here these three, personification, metaphor and alliteration, have been used predominantly. The first we can see the tigers are personified throughout the poem when they are described as being proud, confident and unafraid of men. These qualities mainly differentiate them from the fearful and timid Aunt Jennifer. So as the main one here is personification. The next one is metaphor. There are so many examples, the comparison given here as metaphor. Like bright topaz denizens of a world of green, the massive weight of uncle's wedding band, like that so many different words are used here, different comparisons have been used. So once when you go inside the textual lines explanation part, we will understand better. And of course there are alliterations also used here, like fingers fluttering, right, like that so many different things, and weight of uncle's wedding. So here also W is repeated, and in fingers fluttering F, the letter F is being repeated. So like that a lot many different literary devices also been used here. So once after entering inside the textual lines explanation part, we will see in deeper. Now let us see the introduction of this poem. In the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, a woman expresses her suppressed feelings through her art. Aunt Jennifer is the victim of the male dominated society. She has no one to tell her mental and physical pain. She makes a picture of a graceful and powerful tiger to convey her deep feelings. Rich vividly shows, the poet Adrienne Rich vividly shows the weaknesses of women and clout and authority of male in the martial life through the image of Aunt Jennifer in the poem. And also in this poem, the suppressed and oppressed Aunt Jennifer wishes to be powerful and strong within like the tiger in her art, but fails to do that. The stout and the impressive image of a tiger in the artwork of Jennifer's contrasts with Aunt Jennifer herself. Tiger is a symbol of strength, proud, experience and independent, whereas Jennifer is weak, meek, amateur and dependent to her husband. The poem is powerful and generalizes the plight of all suppressed women of the world. Of course, here in this poem we are learning about a suppressed lady, especially after once getting married, they lose their original identity. So, we will see lot many different things also in this poem. So, my dear students, I hope that you have got a little idea about this poem, and of course, there are different things to be discussed in deeper in this particular poem, and what actually happened to Aunt Jennifer, and what kind of life actually she wishes to lead, and what finally happens to her. All these kind of things are there in this poem. And of course, there are different things also to be concentrated on about the equality, the gender equality, the standard of society, and the mainly about the tradition and culture and sticking to the main practices in the interior village side, still even it is prevailing. So, like this lot many things are there in this poem. So, before going to enter inside the textual lines, let us have a small discussion over this part also. So, thank you.